Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and today I'm going to be doing something that I'm hoping to actually start doing a lot here on this channel. As you guys might have noticed, I've been away for about a week. I spent a week on a family cruise. Had a lot of time to think about what I was wanting to do with my channels, what I want to get done on YouTube, and how I want to further evolve my content. As you guys noticed, I've kind of switched how I've been scheduling my uploads quite a lot in the last 4 or 5 months, trying to find a balance of a way to bring you guys content that I want to make that you guys will enjoy watching without letting any of my other responsibilities to this team and everything else that I have going on Slack as well. And it really kind of landed me on one thing, and that is I really miss making Call of Duty content. As you guys know, I make troll videos, which is really just me going and playing the game and just uploading little clips of it. I call them troll videos, but really that's just how I prefer to play Call of Duty. It's just going around and talking random smack to people, when there's people to talk smack to. As you can see, we're playing MWR on PS4, so there's probably not a whole lot of talkers. But the want to make Call of Duty content where I just basically play the game and then make something, or to put another way, to actually make a video and play the game at the same time without doing Call of Duty news and stuff, because that's just not what I'm into. So I wanted to take that ideal and combine it with something that I've also always talked about doing, and it's something I kind of go back and forth with, whether I want to make that kind of content or not, whether what I would rant about and why I would do it and what kind of format. I didn't want to end up being one of these talking heads on YouTube where you guys just went and watched me rant on about something, staring in my face the whole time. I wanted to keep it nerdy. I wanted to keep it in line with what I do here on YouTube, and I figured taking it back to the live com might be a really cool way to do it. So basically I just I said I wanted to do this video, and I tweeted out that I was gonna just ramble on basically while I run around and get you guys some shitty gameplay. Not as shitty as that guy, because he's laying on the ground, but this is a map I've been wanting to play. I've been saying that I was gonna stream it for a while, just because they obviously remade one of my favorite maps in Call of Duty. But really, I want to get back into sniping. I want to get back into making COD content. I don't want to have to wait all the way until World War II to do it. It's either that, I just want to get back in the mode of doing it. I'm looking forward to that game for so many reasons that I could probably make a whole video just reacting to the trailers and doing that whole jazz. But I figured you guys have already seen enough of those, and I don't really want to do it. I'm just really excited to have a game to grind again. A lot of things that I'm hoping that Juggernaut's not in the next one. But no, I want to just address basically a couple of y'all's tweets. Jeez, how the fuck did I hit that? But no, I wanted to rant about the topics that you guys wanted to hear me rant about, and the first one came from Velocity, and he wanted me to talk about the YouTube situation with advertising revenue and everything that's kind of going on with that, a whole bunch of channels stopping and basically giving up because they're not making enough on YouTube. And then there's a bunch of YouTubers that have actually made videos saying they've slowed down production of their content, largely due to the lack in pay, or they're not earning enough or earning as much as they used to. And really, to begin with, the reason why I've never really even spoken about this on Twitter or on YouTube, really, is just because I believe that's a pretty low, I guess, form of conversation. I feel like there's so much other topics that we could be talking about, rather than talking about how much money I make, and how I make it, and when really there's content to be talked about and other things like that. But it being such a large prevailing issue, right now, as something that I feel really does. I don't know how that happened. It really does affect such a large part of our community, in that the rumors that you're hearing are a combination of true and false for the most part. Yes, the adpocalypse has resulted in a very what am I playing? Hardpoint? Holy shit! I kind of forgot what I was playing. I thought we were playing domination for a second. It definitely is dipped. It's dipped to in a material way. Something that happens pretty regular on YouTube, but most of the time it bounces back because it more has to do with the time of year and how much advertisers are paying for ads, blah blah blah. Which not to say that doesn't affect what we're doing here at all, but what? Okay, this guy's pissing me off. And his friend killed me. But yeah, I know. I feel like a lot of people ask YouTubers this question because they want to hear them say, "Oh, you should do it for your fans entirely," or the people that are doing it just for money are greedy and aren't doing it, don't care about their fan bases because they don't make as many videos now because they're not getting paid as much, and this whole stigma around YouTube money and all that random shit. When really it's just that thing I like to brand in our culture right now, when people take a whole entire situation, reduce it to a title, and then react, not even how they even feel it, is really what they feel like the rest of everybody else will react to it as. like overreacting most of the time or underreacting when they should be going nuts, all based on, you know, taking a huge situation into one little tiny line. And that's the same situation with the adpocalypse and YouTube money. Because on one hand, it is hard to plan, I guess, a career or your life around an income that changes so much or could dip so suddenly or have such a massive material change without us having any warning. I mean, obviously that's going to cause stress no matter what you do for a living. Any self-employed person will tell you that, whether they own a boat company or a cleaning service, or they're an independent telemarketer. I mean, they're all going to have that same woe, and they get to complain about their jobs paying them less without having to be told that they should be doing it in some part at least for their fans, and should have some kind of loyalty to producing their doing their job just to please all the people that they've spent so long pleasing already. This guy is the reason why Juggernaut shouldn't be in the game. But and I somewhat agree with that for the most part, but not from the stance that you guys are probably thinking, not from that lighthearted heart of gold, like we're doing it just out here to because we should and we have a moral obligation to continue to make content. I say that because as an influencer or as a person that works in social media, I know that there is multiple ways of earning income once you have a brand that's even as large as, say, mine. And I would like to consider myself and a large part of TK as kind of like the middle class of YouTube. Now I say that with no ego. I really feel like if you were to take like the smallest full-time YouTuber versus the largest ones, funny enough, those being the ones the most vocal about this adpocalypse and stuff like that, I'd say we're somewhere right there in the middle. And we're affected as such. So I feel like a lot of the negative feedback that people are getting from making videos about them wanting to make less videos, or they don't have the same drive to make content anymore because they're getting paid less. I feel like everyone ignores the very obvious reason why they would say that, and instead try to paint it as they're being unloyal to their fans. But at the same time, I wouldn't think there's a person in this world, or at least a working person in this world, that wouldn't say that the income they derive from what they spend all their time doing isn't in some part a material motivating factor in why they do it, how much success they feel like they're getting from it, how well they feel like they're doing at it, and I guess the drive to continue to be creative. Like a good example is school for a large part. How come a lot of people, or I guess it's a societal norm for you to set apart or set aside your entire life. You obviously everyone's got to eat, have a roof over their head. It all takes money. It's a societal norm for people nowadays to say, okay, you can take 4 years, 5 years, pretty much your whole juvenile life, aside from that, and just focus on growing and focus on learning and becoming a better person so that you're better equipped to go support yourself in the long run. The reason why this even exists is because people do their best work when they're not pressured where their next meal is coming from. And when you're a kid, working at McDonald's, earning some extra income, that's good for you to have some extra money. But imagine if you're instead of having your parents, hopefully, or someone else to help support you while you're in high school. Imagine trying to learn and become an adult and do all these things whilst you're worried about where you're going to sleep and where you're going to eat. And obviously, everyone knows and can agree as an entire people on this planet that is not a good. And that is not a good situation for you to be doing your best work. That's why things like careers exist. That's why people even offer that. I'm going to pay you this much money every single month so that you feel safe and secure so that you can do your job better, so you can focus on your job. So as a self-employed person, yes, we derive a lot of satisfaction, a lot of, marks on how we're doing, a lot of feedback, a lot of that from how much we're earning. And also being in an entertainment industry, everyone knows it comes and it goes. You got to earn as much as you can while you can, and be safe about how you spend. And that's the main reason why I also feel like some people get some flack about talking about this topic is, some of these people have been, they might be earning, a portion of what they're used to earning, but they've been earning millions. But they've been earning quite a lot above, what a lot of people would say is, a middle class income or what a normal income would be. They've been earning well over that for a really long time, and as long as they weren't stupid and invested it all and saved it all and did all that stuff, that they should be fine, and that alone should get them over that hump of a couple months of bad ad revenue to keep pumping out those videos. I just shot my teammate and got a kill for it. In large part, I agree, and that's the main reason why you don't hear a lot of us, actually take drastic actions to alter what we're doing based on how much I guess we're being paid for, because we're not working for free. Some people are out there saying they're getting paid like 10%, I think is the number they got thrown around. I'm going to tell you that's not my situation, but I also make longer than 10-minute videos and put more than one ad on type stuff. Oh good, thanks. I also live in a house with a whole bunch of friends that randomly bring me Starbucks if I lend them my car. That's what's just happened there. Those are my keys. So what I just spent like the last 9 minutes rambling about, it's like, yeah, that's what I want to kind of do with these rant videos. I kind of wanted to use this video as a somewhat of an example that most of the time when people do rant videos, they go very hard up in one direction. They, you know, they argue both sides and then they usually conclude signaling towards one side, or they just really can only see a situation from one side. When really the things I'm going to rant about are not really, put it this way, the way I want to rant about stuff is not really to rant about, you know, what side I think is right, what side I think is wrong, or what side I think is completely stupid, which inevitably I probably will do. But really I want to rant about people choosing a blanket side. There's really no one way to agree with every single situation, and there's no one way to have an opinion on something, because I'd almost guarantee you if you asked anybody a one-line question, they'd have a one-line answer. But if you asked them a question that took you an entire paragraph or an entire page, or nay, say an entire book to explain, I guarantee you they wouldn't have that same one-line answer. And that's what honestly makes me fucking laugh every single day on Twitter, every single YouTube video I watch, even the people that claim to, like, you know, show a very broad opinion and take both sides, even in their best efforts. Because there's also a trend of people not having an opinion and just displaying something to paint themselves in a superior way about having an opinion. Like, I don't have to take sides because it's beneath me, or I don't really care, I see both sides type thing. And really they just want you to listen to their form of both sides. Not only do they have one opinion, they got fucking two. They have one on both sides. So really I want these rant videos to just laugh at the fact that our world is right now at this current point in time taking any topic it can think of, whether it's politics, whether it's our little bullshit on YouTube, whether it's the one of 1,000 things Reddit complains about every single day, and they take a huge situation that would take people entire videos, paragraphs, press releases, articles to explain. They reduce it to one sentence, and then everybody replies back with their first emotional response. I don't care whether it makes sense or not. And then if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter because it's their first emotional response. Well, I didn't know. This is what I was, you know, told. The media is fake. The media is a lie. These guys painted it. This guy's lying. This guy didn't say it the way it was supposed to be said. But what's annoying is it didn't stop anybody from having that one-line response to that one-line situation, which really should have taken a whole paragraph, a whole video, a whole book, a whole fucking interview to explain exactly what happened. And that's what I want to do with my rant video. So really I'm going to talk about the source of problems and show how if one just applies common sense to finding the answer on both sides of an argument, as that's usually how it goes, we can actually learn something and also laugh at everybody that just takes one side regardless of what they have to agree to. So there's two kinds of people that will probably react to this video. They'll say, well, you just complained about the exact thing you did. You sat there and you talked about both sides of that apocalypse, whether people should do it for fans, how much they should derive from that, the reality of the situation, that people really only should work for money, or that, you know, they're in part motivated by money, and you argued both sides, and maybe that makes me seem superior of the situation because I have not talked about it until now and really haven't given a personal opinion. No! That's not actually what happened. You'd be fooled. You'd be reacting. You'd be doing the whole one-line reaction to a one sentence. That's what I just did. I took everything I just did over the last 12 minutes and put it in one sentence, and you had an emotional response. That's what you did. No, I explained the reality of the situation. What I would hope would be the reality to most people, that, you know, obviously these jobs that you were talking about do have a level of fandom, but they're also jobs. People depend on these incomes, whether they have families or car addictions, or you could give literally a million fucking page list of a million reasons why an income is important to somebody, and I would hope everybody could agree that those are important. The real answer behind why I feel like people are really jolted about this adpocalypse, because like I said, I'm in the middle class of YouTube. I've been affected pretty hardcore about it, and it's not world-endingly destroying me because there's a million other ways I can, you know, make money, and obviously we've all saved and done well and done things like that. And even for growing YouTubers, again, those opportunities are still there. When one opportunity dips down for ad revenue, another one jumps up. It's called a system. It works. It's just like a very small version of the economy. You know, everything is in imbalance. So the real answer is everybody wants growth. Everybody wants to do better this month than they did last month. I don't care if you're working at McDonald's, if you're mowing lawns, if you're in school, or you're a billionaire, if you're making millions of dollars per video on YouTube, or you're making $10 per video on YouTube. Everybody wants to do better the next time they do something versus the first time. They want to see growth, and that is the driving, addicting factor in YouTube and in social media in general, really. I mean, I like to think I'm addicted to Twitter outside of growth, largely because I stopped growing on it. But when I was blowing up every single month, yeah, dude, the level of excitement, the level of enthusiasm that gets naturally brought out in everything you do on those social medias, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Vine, whatever the fuck. As long as you're growing, it's a motivating factor. after. But what happens when you've already got millions of subscribers? What happens when, although you have 5 million subscribers, you're not getting, the same amount of subscribers as you were before, because now you have all of them. Everyone deals with that when their channel blows up and then dips down, the whole peaks and valley thing. Man, it's so great that you guys can't shoot, because I would have been disowned on all these hit markers, but you're terrible. So what really ends up mattering once you've gotten over the growth period in your YouTube or in your social media, when you're this purely growing was fucking interesting enough, or that was the coolest thing in the world. Most people, I would think, could at least agree with this in large part, because money is something that we all have in common, minus a few tribes in the rainforest somewhere that don't use possessions to indicate wealth. We all use how much we earn to indicate how well we're doing. I agree that can kind of demotivate some people. Although my gameplay probably wasn't that great, I'm gonna get better. I have to. I mean, if I do this enough, eventually I'll start getting more kills. I didn't actually pay attention too much. I was more concentrated on what I was saying, so hopefully I didn't embarrass myself. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Also, go over to my vlog channel. I'm putting up our snorkeling videos. The last video from our vacation is probably the best vlog we made, so I really hope you guys enjoy it. See you guys tomorrow.